Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to share some more stories from my life with you so that you can, grow. I have my coffee. It's pretty hot. I've had like 3 cups of coffee today, which is not good, but stop caring what other people think. How on earth is it possible to stop caring what other people think? That is something that I thought was not possible. I thought it was not possible to stop caring what other people think, and I want to just share with you what I've been feeling about this. So here's the big question. Is it possible to stop caring what other people think? And the answer is yes. We live in a society that tells us what we should do, what we should wear. We should wear this, we should drive this car, we should go there, we should do that. We should download these apps, and apparently it's going to make our lives better. But it's actually possible to really change how you see yourself and live as the unique person that you were created to be. As a child, there were certain things that made me different. To start with, I was a Christian and I wasn't hiding it. I never hid that. And in school, I remember one time in year 5, I had a teacher who was a Christian, and she asked us to bring in a book of our choice. And so I brought in the Bible, and I thought that was really cool. And I was like, yay, you know, my teacher's gonna be like happy to see that. I had this kid's Bible that was super cute and there was illustrations in it, and I just loved it. And so, you know, the rest of my class were like, Christina, why did you bring a Bible to school? And I still have not heard the end of that to this day. People still remind me of that, and I'm like, so what? It's the gospel, it's the living, breathing word of Jesus. But as a 10-year-old, obviously that was a different story, and some people perhaps did not see that and understand that. Then another thing, I was German in a British school, and I was bilingual, which meant that my classmates were always asking me, how do I say the S word? How do I say the F word? How do I say this, that, and the other? At some point, I actually developed a strategy where they would ask me what the word was, and I'd just reply with an English word, because a lot of swear words are actually used in German, are actually English words. But like as a kid, I was like, can you stop asking me what these words are in German? Like, Google it, you know. One time, this was really, really out of line and rude, and I can't remember who asked me, but somebody asked me, so if you're German, is your granddad Hitler? And I was like, I'm sorry, what did you just say? Like, that's rude. And everybody I tell this story to is like, you know, but being German in a British school, or actually being German in Germany as well, especially when you have blonde hair and blue eyes, like that stereotype does come out, and some people are rude and some people say silly things. But in that moment, I decided to just be like, what? I went, yes, that's right. Every single German person has the same granddad. Oh, and also, by the way, Hitler's Austrian, right? He was. He was Austrian. But like, so I just kind of, there was a few things where I just brushed it off, but there were so many factors. The next factor that really could have that made me different was not having a TV. And like, I never thought that was a weird thing, but you know, my parents, they didn't have space for a TV, and then by the time they could have got one, we'd lived so long without one that it was like, why get a TV? And I think if I'd had one as a kid growing up, I think I would have had a very different childhood and a very different upbringing. And I'm quite glad that dinners were not spent by the TV, but they were spent talking to one another and things like that. But I didn't have a TV, so I was the girl in the class who didn't have a TV. What? You don't have a TV? Why don't you have a TV? And apparently not having a TV back in the day, in the 2000s in England, wasn't cool. And I was kind of always like, why? Why is it not cool? Who said so? Who in the world is actually the person who is telling you that these things are cool or not? Like pop culture, don't listen to pop culture. Do not listen to them when they say that this is in and this is out. You can wear what you want and you can listen to what you want, you can do what you want, you can furnish your house how you want. And these are all things that as like a kid, you don't necessarily know that you have the freedom to do that and to be who you want to be. But honestly, if I can speak life into anybody right now, I'll say, do what you want. Don't get in trouble, don't do anything illegal obviously, but do what you want. In school, I also, like as a kid growing up, I also looked different. I just was not a cool kid. Again, where does this thing come from that I'm not cool? I think I'm a pretty cool person, okay? But I had to grow into my skin, I had to grow into who I am. Definitely had to grow into my ears and like normal stuff that you go through as a kid, right? Especially in secondary school, I looked just different. Like I was a bit more childish in the way that I dressed. I wore a lot of pink, which apparently at some point was not fashionable anymore, and I wore things that were maybe not so fashionable. And honestly, then I started wearing makeup or trying out makeup, and that's another thing. It's practice makes perfect, right? Like now the eyeliner is on fleek, but back in the day, insert photo, this is how my eyeliner used to look. And there was one time, I'm sorry, I always play with my hair because I can't decide what side it's got to be on. And one time, we just had swimming lessons in school. I think I was in year 8. So just starting to hit puberty, which is the worst time in school anyway, ever. It's the worst. And we'd come from swimming and I'd redone my makeup and I decided to put eyeliner on. I didn't have eyeliner on before the swimming lesson. And then we went up to French, and I remember standing in the French, gosh, this is such a long time ago, but it's in my head. I can see the stairwell where I was standing. I can see the people coming up to me. Someone said, oh, it looks like you've been to a funeral. And someone else said, you have panda eyes, which as like a 12 or 13-year-old is the worst thing you could possibly hear about your makeup. And I was super sad and I ran to the bathroom, I cried, I took it off. But like I said, practice makes perfect. And in that moment, I thought I was being really cool and like going the next step and like becoming like who I want to be and wear eyeliner, which now I'm very, very, very good at. So I don't even know what the point of this like video is, but I feel like so many people have so many weird, crazy stories. And if anyone is watching this in high school, be nice to people around you. You don't know what's going on in their life, and you don't have the right to tell them that they look silly or they look wrong or they look bad or they look ugly. Do not tell anybody that. And if it is even in your heart to tell someone that they look bad in some way, then please check your heart, because that is not the way to go forward. You will make more enemies than friends. Trust me. And also, everyone's made uniquely, right? Like, anyway, school kids suck. I was also not the coolest person. Like, being in school, I did some dodgy stuff, like, and I hurt a lot of people. But I learned from my mistakes. Everyone learns from their mistakes. And yeah, like I said, school kids can be so mean, and I just encourage you to be gracious and nice to people. Like I said, you never know what they're going through. And there's a Bible verse that says, like, be nice to your enemy, for it's like heaping hot coals on their head. It's in Proverbs, I'll write it here. It's really good. Like, so that is something that I've been just dwelling on, you know. Actually be nice to the people who are being mean to you, because at the end of the day, they're going to be like, why are they being nice to me? And actually they might even have a change of heart. So I also did something very brave at the age of 15, which obviously, you know, it made me very susceptible to become bullied and to be a laughing stock. But I started my YouTube channel when I was 15, and that was really brave. Like, the fact that I did that was so brave. it was bad. It was not good, and I was still developing. I was in like going through puberty. I was still developing my voice, and you know what really sucked is that I still had the guts to upload it. People would sit in class and they would make fun of me, and I still remember what class I was in there as well. I was in science, and the cool kids were at the front, which was quite weird, and I was at the back. Usually it's the other way around. And I was at the back, and they kept sneering and looking at their phone, and then looking back at me and sniggering. Snickers is a chocolate. Okay. You know, sneering at me and kind of like making fun of me, which is just so not cool. And I just remember like back in the day, I didn't take it lightly at all. And my poor teachers had me in their office so often, crying, like upset. My poor parents, like they just had so many evenings where I just would say I didn't want to go to school the next day, and it was really sucky. So friend, if I can encourage you just to keep going forward and to start somewhere, please do, because you're going to be fine. You're going to achieve so many things. And I mean, now I'm only 22, right? And I've already achieved so much for the fact that I had so many setbacks in my life. And just keep going. Just keep going. Obviously, it all has a lot to do with like maturing a lot and growing closer to God. I was far from perfect, and I still am far from perfect. But then in school, between year 10 and year 13, I really just decided I knew I was good. Like, you know, there are some people, unfortunately, on TV, like when they go to X Factor or something, where they're like, yeah, my family's heard me sing and they're always telling me I'm good. But thankfully, I had not just my family around me, but actually I had the guts to put it on YouTube. And so I had, you know, comments that said it wasn't good, and then I improved myself and I improved myself and I improved myself. And if these comments had not been there, and if people had not said stuff, and if I didn't have music teachers who were telling me to change techniques and do other things, then I would have tried to like probably go on the X Factor and actually end up sucking. So, you know, like I said, in year 10 and 13, I actually joined the choir because I was like, you know what, I know I'm good. And I don't care what anyone else says. I know I can sing. I might not be Whitney Houston, but I can sing. And I just remember one moment that was really a proud moment for me was after just so many years of being so scared, and you know, it was, yeah, stage fright was also a thing. Like I was pretty scared of like being on stage. And then I had my first performance in year 12 in like a little library in school, and there was like a little acoustic session, and I sang All of Me by John Legend, and that was really like a big deal. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm singing in front of all the people that like don't really like me. And even when I released my first single, I got hate and stuff, and people just being silly just because kids and teenagers are silly. But at the end of the day, I remember the following year in 2015, I asked my music teacher to help me with a backing track for a performance. And then the other music teacher was walking in while I was practicing, and I was singing, oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I started singing, something's got a hold on me, yeah. Oh, it must be love. Oh, something's got a hold on me. I can't actually remember the tune. But I was singing that, and it was like after school, and like the teacher was walking down the hallway. And yeah, he was like, whoa, I knew you could sing, but I didn't know you could sing like that, because for so many years I just hadn't trusted myself, and I was practicing in my room. So I think practice is really important, and practice does make perfect. I'm not perfect, but practice does get you closer to perfect. And so also around that time was when I started becoming closer to people in church and closer to God. And so actually just having people in my life who spoke potential into me, like friends who were just like, hey, do this, this is awesome, like who were just firing me forward, they can't say that in English. Die haben mich angefeuert. they were like supporting me and helping me along the way. And having these people that speak potential into your life is so important. So if you realize you have toxic friends, I encourage you to find some good friends. And it's all about growing. Like, you're not finished with your story at the age of 13 or at the age of 15 or at the age of 22. God is working on you, and at some point you're going to realize that he's working on you. Like, and it's a process, you know. And obviously at some point I hit puberty and the braces came off, and I started taking self-portraits, and I found like a lot of confidence in that. So I found a lot of confidence in YouTube and in taking photos, which really helped me grow. And I think it's just really important to remember to just not give up on your passion. The saddest thing ever is when people are told that they're not talented, but like, who is the judge of that? I mean, everybody in this world has a talent, has something, has a gift that is yet to be unleashed, and just keep going. Honestly, keep going. If I'd have stopped and be like, okay, nope, never doing that again, never uploading a video again or whatever, where would I be, you know? So yeah, I didn't give up. And by the end of my time in school, I actually had fans like in the younger years, which was really cool. It was nice to have people look up to you, and that's all I want, is people to look up to me. And that's all I want for you, is for you to grow into a person that is going to be a role model. Yeah, so just all I want to say is, like, how do you not care about something? What have I learned from these experiences? You grow into who you are, and I really just hope and pray that if you experience hardships, that you remember that there's a God who loves you and who wants the best for you. And it even says in the Bible, in the New Testament, like, if this person in this house doesn't welcome you, then brush the dust off your feet and move on. You know, so I really encourage you to move on from any toxic relationships, move on from any people who are in your life who do not speak potential into you. And just remember that you are made completely unique, and how boring would it be if the whole world looked the same? Being late to the crowd is okay, you know. I still, for instance, do not have TikTok, right? I don't see the point in having the app. I do watch a lot of TikToks for the fact that I don't have TikTok, but this is an example. I just don't see the point in having this app, so I'm not going to download it, right? And I just encourage you to do the same. If you feel like you don't want to have these apps, or you don't want to do this, and you don't want to do that, and you don't want to wear all the stuff that's coming out right now, and like, you don't need the latest shoes, you don't need the latest makeup, you do not need to waste your money on things that you do not want. Don't let anyone feel inferior without your consent, okay? Seriously. Society is turning us all into these like clones, and it's sad, because God has made us unique. You have not reached the finish line yet. Keep running the race. You've got so much amazing stuff ahead of you, honestly. So all I want to say towards the end of this video, things that will help you along your journey, no matter where you are. I think these things will really help you. Number one, you are loved by God. Do not forget that. Seriously, you're loved by God, and you can stand firm in every situation because he loves you and he wants the best for you. Number two, your story is not finished. It's not finished. It's not done yet, okay? So don't give up. Number three, you must focus on your uniqueness, because at the end of the day, like I said, what good is it if we're all clones? We don't want that. We don't want lots of the same people. We want lots of different, amazing, unique people who can come together and just change the world. You are a world changer. Whatever you're doing, it has the potential to change the world, and just, yeah. Number four, stop surrounding yourself with toxic people who tell you that you're not gonna reach your potential, or who just, you know, hold you back. So I hope this video kind of helps you see that the circumstances that I experienced as a teenager did not define me. They actually made me better. They helped me grow. And even if you're struggling in adulthood or whatever, I just encourage you to keep moving forward. Every day is a new opportunity to just make a difference and be there for somebody and do something amazing. And even if you're having a day where you're like, I don't feel like creating anything, I don't feel like doing anything, I don't feel like making a difference in the world, that's okay as well. And there's always a tomorrow. And I'm going to leave you with this. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow has enough worries for itself, right? Do not worry for what, it doesn't add another day to your life if you worry, okay? So I hope this video helped you in some way. I hope you enjoyed listening to how I have overcome all of the stuff that happened in school. And let me know what you thought. Subscribe, turn on the notifications, because that's the new algorithm on YouTube, so that you actually see my videos. And yeah, don't forget to like this video also, and have a wonderful day. God bless you. Bye.